You know. So hey everyone, Albert Pavon here with the Pavon team. I have next to me Mr. Kevin Coleman from SWBC, and I wanted to talk about something that's going on right now because interest rates and market crashing is what I keep hearing from everybody. And the biggest thing is we have to get really creative on the things that we're doing in order to keep moving, because it's not all doom and gloom, guys. The market is still moving. It's not going to crash, but rates have gone up, and not up like, oh my God, it's insane. They're not crazy. I mean, I've been selling houses almost 18 years. So when I bought my first property, I had it at 6.5%. So it was like pretty normal. But a lot of people are thinking that, hey, these interest rates are high, and they're higher than what we saw 6 months ago. But what we saw 6 months ago wasn't even a realistic number anyways. So, but something that we're always looking at is how do we get creative? And something that Kevin was telling us is this program, or I don't know if I want to call it a program, but it's a 2-1 buy down.
Yeah.
How this program works.
So
go ahead.
So,
you're
I will. It's pretty good. So as Albert said, the market shifted, a lot over the last few months, and sellers obviously are now starting to help buyers, from getting financing terms that are a little more attractive to help sell their home. So there's a program that's been available from forever, but we really just haven't explored or used it, and it's called the 2-1 buy down, to where that the seller can pay basically the cost to buy the interest rate down by 2% from the start rate for the first 12 months, and then it's bought down by 1% for the 12 months thereafter. So in essence, in the first 2 years, the rate is 2% lower than what the 30-year fixed rate would be. Yep. And then year 2, it's 1% lower than what the 30-year fixed rate would be. So kind of give an example. Yeah.
So let's say today you're buying a house, right? And just choose a number, 500,000.
Okay.
So I'm a buyer, I buy a house, and it's at, let's just say 7%.
Okay.
So with the 2-1 buy down, right? My first year of payments, if the seller agrees, right? So if you're a seller and you're like, hey, my house is on the market, I'm not being able to sell it. How can I get creative? This is a great way to get creative. The seller can give a concession to the buyer to buy down the rate 2% for that buyer. So that first year, if we're using 7%, the first year payments would be 5%.
Correct.
The second year would be 6%.
Correct.
Right? And then the third year would be 7% for the remainder of the
Yeah, it goes back to the 30-year fixed rate.
Why would we do a program like this?
Well,
or in hopes of, I guess.
Well, I mean, a lot of people say that interest rates will come down in the coming years again. I don't think they'll ever be at 2020 lows, but I never thought they would be that low ever to begin with. Yeah. So rates should, I don't think rates belong in the 6-7% range in a healthy market. Yeah. So I foresee after inflation is tamed and brought back to a normal level, the Fed will start to cut interest rates at that point, and it'll filter over to us on long-term interest rates, and it might just take a couple of years for this to all take place. So doing this basically helps you get a lower interest rate for the first 2 years, and it's paid for by the seller, so you're not paying for it out of pocket.
Well, it helps the buyer out.
Yep,
it helps the buyer out to have a good payment. Yep. Or I guess I should say a better payment for the first year.
Yep.
It goes up a little bit in the second year with hopes of, guys, we don't have a crystal ball, but if the interest rates do level out or come down on the third year, you will have that option to refinance.
Oh yeah, absolutely, definitely.
And get the better rate.
Yep.
So I think a program like this will help buyers still get that lower rate that they were seeing.
Sorry to interrupt. And the other thing, the worst case scenario is your interest rate in year 3 is just at what it should have been years 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's an adjustable rate or anything along those lines. You're just having the seller give a credit to basically prepay your interest for the first 2 years to get you a lower monthly payment.
So you were gonna pay the same.
You were gonna pay the same no matter what. Yeah. You're just saving money because the seller is giving you a large credit at the time of sale to have a lower payment for the first 2 years.
Now I know every scenario is going to be different, guys, and this is why it's so important that you partner up with a lender like Kevin, who can actually break down this information. Because I can tell you right now, a lot of this has to do, what it's going to cost the seller has to do with what the buyer's credit score is. A lot of it's going to have to do with the type of scenario, the type of loan that they're getting. But if they were getting, let's say, a $500,000 loan and they have over a 700 credit score, and we're looking at today's rate, and a seller would offer this concession to the buyer, what would it roughly cost that seller?
Call it between $11,000 and $12,000 up front to do the 2-year buy down. And it would probably save the buyer around $600 a month in the first year, and probably around $300 a month in the second year versus the payment that they would have paid,
which is huge.
Oh, absolutely, definitely. There's a lot better things.
So if you're a seller and you're trying to move your house, right? You're trying to get it moving. This is a creative way that you could offer this incentive to the buyer, okay? And if you're a buyer and you're saying, hey, I don't really want to pay those high interest rates, there is a way that we could get it down lower for you as well. So, guys, I hope that you are enjoying these videos. We're always trying to bring you topics that will help you out in this market. Always feel free to contact us, Kevin. Thank you always for doing this with us. And don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one.
Thank you.
All right.